Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Welcome back to the Season 8 finals of the ESL Pro League. I'm here with Mac. We're into the second map of Renegades versus ViCi. Should be pretty interesting stuff. Heading on to Mirage now after an Inferno that started off pretty one-sidedly. Renegades off to a really strong lead, but then ViCi fighting back a little bit and actually getting double digits on the board.
Yeah, we'll see if the if history repeats itself here on Mirage. You know, I feel like it's going to be... It seems like a map where it should be a lot closer than Inferno. But
I feel like Inferno is one of ViCi's best though, but should be interesting. I mean, the thing is that like ViCi, you know, will probably have to play Tyloo and have to play against a lot of these Chinese teams. And let's be real, Inferno, Mirage, that the wheelhouse of the Chinese map pool. Like they're going to play that. They've been playing that for years, so this should be a pretty comfortable one for ViCi. It should be pretty interesting to see against Renegades, but it's always going to be rough if you're trying to play a best-of-3 series up against Renegades, a team that you're an underdog against, and you're going to play them on 2 of their best maps, if not their 2 best maps in a row. That's doing it on hard mode, if you ask me, Mac. Yeah,
well, I'd have to agree. Especially, it seems like they are going to go for the retake here at A, but in the corner, the crossfire is almost going to work out. Zoking falls down, Jacob finding 2, but there is potential for a trade here. They just can't get the angle as Orman and Freeman eventually do get the trades there. Grat and JKS last 2 alive, but Freeman and Orman, look at this, both below 30 HP. They have a kit, they have a smoke in play, but the bomb is down in the rough position at the moment. It is in front of triple. That bomb plant obviously denied as JKS tries to once again get this bomb planted. Grat just
all the way around. Might be able to actually catch the plant. No, he's walking.
Good position for the retake though. You know, look at this JKS completely unaware, and he'll be taken down now in the 1v2. The bomb is planted for Grat, but there is a smoke and a kit in play, and he's going to be aware of the retake from jungle at all. Grat getting his head ripped, and Freeman doing a great job there.
There you go. We said that ViCi needed to get off to a little bit of a quicker start than in the last map. That might be the opportunity to do so there, Mac. But with Renegades getting a bomb plant out, potential for them to be able to buy some deagles into this round and go quickly into a gun. Nope, they're going to buy straight up Jacob. AK armor, 1 AK dropped over by JKS. He's probably going to be dropped the deagles. So they're looking to get into things right now. No waiting for next round. Not interested in it.
3 hero AKs, 1 without the helmet, so that could come back to bite them.
This is the theory craft, isn't it? From when the economy change happened. Everyone was like, haha, how dumb. You can buy up AKs into the second.
But look at this Kaze. He's going to be aware of the AK buy.
Yeah, they've given it up right at the start, haven't they?
But Kaze now down to 43 HP already. He's got that scout, and he did want to get aggressive, but it looks like we are going to see them rotate, or trade positions rather. Advent with that extra HP will go over to the window position. As Renegades, they've got this mid control on lockdown, but they have to try to figure out what they're going to do with it.
Cool smoke ran out from Kaze there, but it's not going to stop Jacob getting control of this connector. Renegades were very spread out considering the force buy, and they've got a lot of map control with very little utility, just sort of walking around and getting the control the good old-fashioned way, getting in there.
Liaz, he's cleared the angle. He does have this apps control, but it looks like Advent will actually find Jacob there.
It's a very key player to lose, and look at the bomb, Mac. It's still in T-spawn. I don't think they're even sure what they want to do in this round right now. I mean, they're Jacob in a position there, but now things are getting a little bit more difficult.
Azza gets the trade onto Orman, who spots the player on short. There is Freeman left alive on site, and the smoke comes out for Door, but Liaz is going to have to try to make a move, at least get the information. He's got a deagle. Oh, beautiful headshot from Azza there. Trade comes out. Advent doing the honours. Liaz, he's got control of the site, but how long can he hold it? The smoke will fade in a second. Zoking at the window.
Last 2 players alive are the armorless players as well, Mac. That's a killer.
And that's going to be rough. The bomb will be planted successfully there. Zoking going to be spotted at Africa. Oh! Balls of steel to look straight at the flashbang. Now it's up to JKS with 32 HP remaining. Advent posted on the angle, and ViCi, beautiful retake to find themselves a second.
Another bomb plant, though, is going to really buff this Renegades economy up a little bit more. 3 alive probably won't incentivize them to force into the next one. At least I wouldn't. Although, I'm not even sure that is necessarily a force. 4 to 3k across the board. They are going to half buy, though. Interesting decisions from Renegades. Sometimes when I think, nah, there's no way they're going to force, they go for it. Sometimes when I think, This is probably a good opportunity to buy up here, Mac. They don't.
Yeah, but you're not Azza.
It's true.
You're not Azza. Azza has a different sized brain to you.
He does.
It's much larger.
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
It's also got much larger biceps.
Yeah.
Probably funnel me pretty
Yeah,
easy
so you can't talk any smack about him, can you?
Nah, just a superior human.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Little nugget, solid boy. Anyway, we are going to see the execute coming out towards the A site from Renegades here with the upgraded pistols. Soaking with the two-man spray down, fully blinded as well, so great job. Not sure what that flash is going to do. Deny any push for the moment. Azza and Grat both going to be shut down. JKS with a deagle. Just can't connect there onto Orman. There was trade potential. But only one rifle dropped from ViCi there in the third round. Now heading into the fourth. Renegades should be able to finally buy up, even with Grat there, able to buy the AWP. So this will be a beautiful buy round for the Renegades. Let's see if they can crack the egg and put their first round up on the board.
I feel like it's been ages since I saw that wall of smokes, Mac. It's been a long, long time. Doesn't work out for Renegades though, like you said, only one gun drop from ViCi. Their economy is going to start to build up here. Plenty of util across the board. Not as important on Mirage than it is on Inferno. This is a quick pace from Jacob. JKS picking up one in ramp as well. It's going to put a lot of pressure on these CTs.
And with that full mid control, the split is set up. Kaze though, finding the angle with the AWP. Leaz falling down on the 4v4. Azza, he's been boosted up into window, but Freeman will spot him as the smoke was essentially a one-way for him. Zoking as well, taking down Jacob, and now it's a 2v4. So just like that, ViCi now with the two-man advantage. Grat going through the smoke, and as it starts to fade, he's going to get the no-scope too. So Orman goes down, and in the 2v3, Renegades are looking to crack this one back open. So Freeman will be posting onto apartments, but he should be aware that both Grat and JKS are towards the middle here. Zoking gets the angle, JKS falls down, now it's all up to Grat. We'll have to go for the 4K, but Zoking too sharp this game so far. 3K for him in the fourth and into the fifth. Renegades still on the big zero.
Yeah, ViCi really fighting in this game. Clearly not happy with the way that the last game went. They knew that they were too slow to start. Now all looking very warmed up. I mean, we saw Zoking and Orman being the really big power players, but everyone on this ViCi roster is definitely capable of fragging at a pretty high level, and if we're able to see a more consistent performance across the board from more of their players, it's pretty scary prospects here for Renegades.
Oh, but that was a huge wide swing, and Kaze allowed completely to pick up the first frag, essentially for free. I'm not sure if Grat even shot there. Now the Molotov forcing Leaz to hold his ground at underpass for the moment. No mid control for the Renegades. But with the CZ, Leaz still looking to do some damage. Him and Jacob looking to boost into window, which is going to come out. The jungle player is Zoking, and he's actually going to be in the top of con. Looking for any information, the smoke there. He will play over the top of it. But look at this, the infiltration of Jacob all the way through market. He's on the flank. He's got all the information, and ViCi just at all. He spotted the barrel of Freeman's rifle, I believe. There's the first, and he hears Orman jumping as well. So he's got himself in the perfect position. 2 little bullets. Oh, he's whiffed onto Freeman. So Freeman now here at default, and has gone down in the apartments as well. Jacob eventually getting that frag, but the bomb is down. And in the 1v3, Jacob only has 7 HP to try to clutch this one out. Zoking at the back of apartments. Eventually going to get that belated trade. But ViCi with 5. Jacob just couldn't make that one work. He was in the perfect position. But the aggression from ViCi just proving too effective.
Yeah, looking individually very on point. I feel like Renegades looking a little bit maybe less focused than we saw them in the last map.
Yep.
Potentially. It seems like they're getting caught off guard a little bit more across the board. Maybe not expecting ViCi to put up this much of a fight, and they're having a little bit slower of a start. Renegades definitely one of those teams that can be, at least before, haven't really seen as many events with this lineup, so hard to comment, but they're definitely one of those teams that can be very hot and cold. Sometimes they come into a game and it looks like nothing can stop them, and sometimes they can be very slow to start and get down a lot of rounds deficit before they start to get themselves going.
Well,
which,
in the actual
tends to make for some pretty epic games sometimes.
Yeah, in the normal ESL Pro League season, because they came from the NA.
Oh, they went massive. They were dominating.
This is with the new lineup too. They were absolutely destroying majority of the NA teams. But you know,
And I mean, you talk about, you know, their first event Star Series, pretty decent showing considering it's their first event. Out to Heroic at Bangkok.
Oh, but speaking about going out, Liaz has been destroyed yet again before he's found his first frag. Advent finding 2 with a Molotov and that AUG. Now it's all up to Grat and JKS to try to keep the Renegades' dream alive here, but ViCi looking too damn good. Not even needing to see their opponents to find the frags so far. Oh, but Grat a little slow there on the trigger. Zoking just getting away with his life. Advent, he's on the off angle, and it will be effective. The edge of the scope is going to deny Grat the vision, but JKS has to try to trade here. Oh, up to find himself a 2K, but 4 rifles being saved into the 7th round.
Again.
Renegades just can't damage that economy, can't get those numbers on the board.
They're just so cashed up. It's the complete opposite of the last game. 6-0 on the board.
The tables have turned.
Front running, yep. Good old turntables, my favourite.
Wicka. DJ Pilly out here. You know, not fragging up a storm, as ViCi are.
Going hard, yeah. If Renegades do start to get this going, though, a bit of a mixed buy across the board from Renegades in this round.
ViCi just know their angles. They're doing so much damage without having to spot the Renegades. That's the thing.
I think they were trying too hard to go for a bit of a like team approach in the start of that Inferno game on the T side, and it really wasn't working for them. And now they've gone back to the sort of, I don't know how you would describe it, maybe a bit of the old Ty Lue approach of just shoot them, trust yourselves, yep, loosen things up a little bit, get everyone activated, playing exactly how they want to play. And that's something I like about this ViCi gaming side, is they have players like Advent who are really good at filling the gaps and making the right decisions in certain scenarios, and they have the players who can frag out huge amounts of firepower. I'd say that goes for all 4 of the others. Kaze, Ullman, Freeman, Zoking, all capable of having some very big games.
Oh, but look at the angle. Zoking going to be spotted and eventually taken out. So here we are. Renegades finally with a man advantage. Let's see if they are able to convert this into a round. Rotation coming out from Advent, not going silent. So that's extra information for Renegades if Jacob has actually heard him this time. You know, we saw him not really hear too much last map, but through the crawl space, Advent was so ready for that one.
There it is. Strong decision making from the man. He understands where the gaps in the defense are.
Switched on. Kaze. Pre-scope, just couldn't get the angle. Orman, though, taking down JKS, and Azza barely surviving on 7 HP. Grat facing and looking to get to a better post-plant position, trying to help out his teammates.
These are great post-plant spots from Renegades, though, especially with that triple plant.
But look at this, Azza just looks away at the wrong moment. Not sure what he was looking at there. Grat, he's going to be taken down as well. So beautiful retake from ViCi. 3 rifles remaining. Yet again, that's so much money in the bank for them. 7 in a row, 7-0, and Renegades, they will be able to buy up into the 8th round. But look at this, it's just rough. It's just such a great start for ViCi.
That round could have gone so differently, though. All 3 of those CTs were so low. Renegades were in great positions, but couple of milliseconds of timing there makes all the difference. Regardless, though, you are right. ViCi, they have money for days, probably for the rest of the half, unless Renegades can just start to build up a lot of rounds in a row.
We're going to see the 2-man set up towards mid here as well. Molotov just going to be dodged by the smoke there. So the little advanced strategy of dumping that molly early, trying to get yourself a one-way, but if the smoke lands in the right spot, it still is just a waste of a Molotov.
Unfortunately, so can be worth the risk though. Molly's not as good on Mirage as they might be in some other maps on the CT side. Unless you maybe like the B anchor or the A player and you want to just dump it when the comes in.
It's good for retakes, always.
Yeah, true. Very good for the retakes.
Especially on the A site there, but you know, if you're an A player, you generally won't be retaking the A site unless you're specifically set up to do so. Azza, though, opening up the A site. Zoking getting his head ripped off. 5v4. Renegades through the last man advantage they had. Not really through, but ViCi were just switched on enough to watch the right angle at the right time. And here's the aggression with the AUG strafing. But Grat will be there to cover his teammate. Jacob going straight through the crawl space, finding one on the Freeman, but Orman is here, and he's going to get his head knocked off as well. And there is the first. There is the cracked egg as Renegades look to try to build a bit more momentum.
Yeah, look, that's a classic Renegades special right there. If you're able to put Jacob and Azure in some aggressive positions where they can work things at their own pace and take control of an important part of the map on the T side with those AK-47s, I mean, it's scary stuff. Got Jacob boosted up into window, Azure working towards connector, and what more can you do on ViCi? You have to have some pretty good like set flashes to be able to retake certain parts of the map, or I'd say that it's going to be pretty difficult to duel either one of those guys.
If Renegades don't win this round, it's going to be rough. But Zoking caught out in such a rough position, manages to turn it into a single frag. Advent there, helping him out. And somehow Zoking has survived. Leah's eventually on the trade game, so it's back to a 3v3. Grat down to 11, Leah's on 28. And ViCi definitely have the HP advantage in this situation, but Renegades, they're looking to group up. They're looking to head over to that B site. Has the damage been done?
I'm keen to see what Advent's going to do in this scenario, because he's a player that's so good in these 3v3s. He's so good at the positional play and being able to put himself in a decent position. Renegade's just going to do the sensible thing, just group up and walk into a bomb site together, try to trade out and consolidate the round that way. Freeman playing retake from MBK on that B site though will get information that for the other teammates to rotate there, and potentially we'll be able to get them to pick before they're able to get out there. That's a sharp shot from JKS, so but both these Renegades players are so low.
There's time to play with though, so 40 seconds remaining. Advent flashing himself across to market door and going all the way out, so JKS is quite low here on 12 HP. Kaze going to be legged down to 19. The bomb is yet to be planted, 30 seconds remaining. Renegades still a little bit of time to play with. JKS baiting the shots, and he is going to come out on top there. Advent falling now. It's off the Kaze with only 19 HP out the window, trying to deny the plant. Perfect weapon to pretty much pick up those last two frags, but just didn't hit the trigger, and Renegades find themselves a second.
Do indeed. Nail-biting one at that. Both of them were so low. You could have seen Kaze tapping a few P250 bullets into both of them and just ending that one, but Renegades do come away with it. Love this from ViCi. They didn't even call a single tactical, I don't think, that entire last map, even when they were getting absolutely pumped.
No, I think it was all Renegades. Even Renegades, they were just ahead of the curve.
What have we witnessed from Zoking? They're asking, I think, for a reset. Maybe he's hit his, like, I mean, I'm hearing typing in the chat. So I'm assuming that's what it is, because maybe he's hit the good old F1 or F2. And if anybody isn't familiar with the classic, you know, set up your LAN config on a brand new PC, and when you log into your Steam account, and things like auto buy being enabled on a computer that you've never played on.
Yep, that seems like what we're going to see.
Usually people have never really experienced that, so they can't understand the frustration of just hopping onto a new computer, hitting a key that should realistically do nothing, and suddenly you've bought yourself an M4. Although,
this is extra information for Renegades now. Obviously, they would have said reset for a reason. Surely you have to let them know accidental buy, etc., etc.
Yep, potentially.
You never know what it's going to be. But they've gone and bought late anyway. So the force coming out from ViCi, is it going to be enough? 2 SMGs, 3 SMGs in play, actually. So
it's actually just not a great round to force.
No.
Because Renegades has a lot of money.
With the flash,
to make it work.
Renegades will be aware that a CT could be close here in a main. With the MP9, is it going to be the play? Shadow hasn't been spotted. Making a lot of noise. Orman actually opening up on Liaz, who was very aggressive over towards B, looking to open it up. JKS cracking open the A site, though. Advent falls, and Zoking will be solo, but the teammates are rotating in. The backup is on its way. Freeman will be watching for Jacob to go through the crawl space. He's done it before, but Grat finding the angle there. And looking for a second. Zoking really wanted the AWP, but Grat knew. What an angle. Jacob getting the headshot onto Freeman. Now it's a 4v1, and it's looking rough for Orman. Renegades might actually deny him from saving here at all, knowing that ViCi went for the force and keeping track of that economy. But here's the angle. I think the shoulder has been spotted, unless that was just a free fire. Jacob coming out on top, finding a second for himself and denying the save from ViCi. So that's 3 for the Renegades. They are back on track to potentially get the majority of the rounds. But 5 more in a row, it's a big ask.
They've got the economy to be able to make a run back into this one. Now they're going up against an eco with already, you know, 6k, 5k, 8k across a lot of their players. Apart from Liaz, who's having a little bit less, but still a great amount of money for him. When you're going up against the pistols and you expect them to be able to close out the round pretty convincingly, fingers crossed, then they should have a lot of economy. Oh. Quite a nice shot.
Zoking couldn't have swung wider. Yeah. He was on the edge
He could have. He could have gone over the edge.
No.
You never want to go over the edge, though, Mac.
You can't shoot if you're in mid. Well, you can shoot if you're in mid. You just have to pray for RNGs. Anyway, push out onto the side here. Jacob opening it up, watching for the bench push. Freeman going to go down. On Advent, teaming up here with the P250s. The stack has proven effective so far. Oh, Jacob just shutting Advent down with only 35 HP remaining. So Renegades finding a fourth, but great damage from ViCi given the scenario.
Definitely would agree with you there. We're going to see another buy round. Kaze back on the AWP. Has just bought himself a Molotov, so potential for him to be able to put out that window smoke or attempt to.
I like seeing the AUG and the SG in play. Not a lot of people buy the SG, but a lot of people have been buying the AUG on the CT side.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a better gun.
Yeah. At range. I feel like it's maps with those very long lines of sight like train, etc., where it definitely flourishes. Although the fast push out here, Kaze shutting Jacob down. Zoking peeking, but JKS and Grat here on the cover. Kaze last alive. They know that he's a triple. They're trying to wrap onto him. He just can't connect there. Leo's eventually going to be taken out by Freeman. But now on the 3v1. Orman makes his way out to site. Denies the plant. The bomb goes down, but there's the trade. JKS at the ready with the gun in hand. And Renegades find themselves a fifth. 3 more, and they've done it. They've taken the majority.
Look,
but ViCi's money's very, very low right now.
Here's what it feels like back. It feels like at the start of this game, ViCi was playing almost the same. And they were really taking advantage of Renegades who were playing a little bit sloppier, it feels like, maybe a little bit less focused. But now Renegades are looking very clean on the trades. They're looking very interested in playing this brawly style that ViCi's trying to play against them. And now that they're sort of clued into how ViCi's trying to play against them and clued into what ViCi's trying to do in this map in particular, it seems like they've really adapted to it and they're really embracing this brawly style and getting the trades. And even though the rounds are coming down close, it feels like Renegades is usually in the lead for most of the time.
Now, I don't think that Jacob actually spotted Kaze on the short side of window there. So he will be allowed to fall out without being spotted. Renegades, they've got this mid control, but mid control before wasn't really working out for them. Knowing that ViCi are on the pistols, it might be a different situation, but speak of the devil, and he will appear. Freeman with the deagle. Getting the 1 deagle and aggression from Orman with P250, looking for some more. We'll get the reload off, but the flank coming in fast from Zoki. Well, JKS just managing to get away with the bomb. Liaz eventually trading Orman out there. We'll find yet another. It's all up to Advent to try to hold with the 570. Finds one more, but Grat on the AWP, too sharp, as Renegades find a 6th. And ViCi should be able to buy up into the 14th round. Can they put another on the board, though? That's the real question. Renegades, their money's fine. You know, they'll be able to buy it till, you know, this round and the last round of the half. So ViCi, it's essentially their rounds to win, Renegades' rounds to lose.
Yeah, look, these rounds are getting close, but close is not good enough for ViCi in the last couple. Renegades coming away with it time and time again, even if it's only with 2 alive. Some of these faces, that's a lot of damage through the smoke there from Window.
It's what we saw earlier in the half, but they just really haven't been going for those aggressive plays behind the smokes, which we did see earlier.
Yeah, I feel like they're still trying to go for the aggression, but now Renegades is just trading a little better, running their game plan a little bit more. They're very spread out. Now just going for the mid control again. It seems to have been what's been working for Renegades in the last couple of rounds. ViCi hasn't really had an answer for it. But in the other rounds where they've been going quick out A on the side of Renegades, at least earlier in the half or onto the sites in particular, ViCi seems pretty decent at shutting those rounds down. But as soon as another angle's added to the equation, as soon as ViCi has to deal with the fact that Renegades has some control of middle and is in some annoying positions, it becomes a little harder for them, it seems. Now Renegade's going to grab some control of connector, looking like an A split.
But look at this, Advent so aggressive in A main, and that is where the man with the bomb is. And Grat's only got 5 HP as well, so this could backfire for the Renegades just from the positioning of ViCi. So utility coming out, but Grat was ready for that as well. Takes Advent down, so great job from him, zoking through the smoke, finding one, trying to go for the spray transfer, and flicks around and gets Liaz on the noggin as well. The bomb has made its way to site, but Grat is so low, somehow gets this bomb planted. There was a molly there for Zoking, but I think he's picked it up at the last moment. JKS wanting the face, but Grat, he's got himself the AWP. JKS going to be traded out. Orman last alive in the 1v2. Grat, his head has been spotted. He's taken the pot shot from Firebox. Jacob, bombs planted to him. Grat goes down, back to the 1v1. There is a smoke here for Orman. He's going to go for the underarm. Has tapped the bomb. Jacob gets aggressive, and he will be successful with the peak. Headshots are plenty for this man. 2 for him, 2 for Grat, 1 for JKS, and a 7th round for Renegades. All tied up here. Who is going to take the majority of the rounds? Final round of the half.
That's going to be pretty difficult for ViCi to do that, Mac, because they just don't have a whole lot of util. They don't have the AWP on Kaze. They're going to have to deal with using lackluster weaponry in this last half, and I don't know how that's going to go for them. Whereas Renegades, they're not having a worry in the world. All the util, all the weaponry that they desire. JKS punishing that A play. Actually, just runs straight out ramp.
But Liaz as well, finding himself a single frag over towards the B site, punishing the unders push.
How often do you see JKS just run out of an area of the map by himself? Like, maybe Jacob or Azar, a bit more accustomed to doing something like that. But from JKS, I mean, it's a rare sight indeed.
The clutch king, you know, trying to clutch early on.
I don't think I've ever seen him do that, Mac.
You know, uncharacteristic, but it got the information. He picked up a frag, and now it's all up to everyone else to clutch out the round. So Renegades have got the man advantage, 3v4, bomb going down on the A site, and big flank coming in from Zoking. Freeman through CT, but Zoking, he's been spotted. Tag Grat down to 40 HP, but up on the box. Surely Jacob gets the angle. There you go. Freeman falls down. CT's clear. The bomb's planted for them as well. This should be a Renegades round, but Kaze shut down from jungle there. All up to Zoking. Oh, managed to pick that one up. Pulls out the USP. Last-ditch efforts, but it's not going to be enough as Renegades bring it back. That was 8 in a row. So, huge effort at the end of the half there to take the majority of the rounds. And going into the CT side, do you think that they can take Mirage?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it's going to be easy for ViCi to get back into this one, especially because they look pretty lackluster on their T side of Inferno. I felt like a lot of the rounds they got were predicated off Renegades playing pretty individualistic, and the rounds getting a little bit scrappier, which were what was able to get ViCi a lot of those rounds on Inferno, whereas when the rounds really boiled down to basic CS, then I feel like it was a lot harder for them.
Okay, understandable. Maybe ViCi just need to group up, ball up, smash, and essentially just, you know, connect more shots than Renegades. Renegades, they've got that ball rolling, and they're not really whiffing anymore.
I feel like here's the difference. I mean, Renegades had that really structured mid-control where they're able to get control of window or ladder, or put Jacob up cat, or put Azar in connector. I don't think we're going to see that from ViCi. I don't think they're going to be able to do that as Renegades. They might go for it once or twice, but I feel like if ViCi is going to have any success, it's going to be with some, like you said, bit of death ball play, bit of, you know, classic
rough
go
and
out
tumble
onto the bomb site, get the entries in, and try to get things going that way. They're going to need to keep Renegade's economy nice and low. They don't want to be dealing with Gratsorb, because let's face it, he's been looking a little better than Kaze in this duel. And I hate to say it, because when Kaze's on form, he's probably one of the best AWPers to watch, but hasn't been the case in this series.
The only thing with that sort of playstyle, you know, smashing out onto sites, just trying to get the trades, get that bomb planted, then play post plants. It's very difficult unless you have very high success with your entry fraggers to keep that economy high as well.
I think, yeah, you need the trades to be pretty clean. You need to be able to keep catching Renegades off guard and changing up the pacing play. You can't fall into a trap of being a little bit too one-dimensional. You need to be, you know, throwing some... Sometimes you go at the start of the round, you know, sometimes a bit more of a slow crawl into an explode, you know. Just change up the pacing of how you're working areas of the map. Renegades guessing.
Understandable, but we are into the second half of gameplay. Renegades taking that CT site and ViCi on the offensive. And we are going to see them just playing it slow at the top of mid just for the moment. Advent with some utility, everyone else with that body armor, and Azar, he's got himself 2 flashes and a defuse kit, but Grat, he's down to 9 HP already, trying to hold short. Spotting Zoking, but the 2-man push towards apartments is going to be spotted out by Orman, who will fall back and try to play with a little bit more cover there. Liaz on the pixel angle. But is he going to be able to connect? Oh, just barely missing the head of Orman there, who gets tagged down to 83 HP. Meanwhile, Kaze over towards the A site, just looking to punish any aggression towards Pal, but JKS, he's solo, and he's going to be playing for the retake at Ticket. But Grat still looking for as much information as possible. Looks like we are going to see an A split coming in, so Renegade's in a great position to go for the retake, but Grat not going to spot Con and not going to be able to deny that bomb plant, not for the moment anyway. JKS hasn't been spotted yet. But we are no one retaking from short, and that will allow ViCi to get that late mid control. Renegades grouping all up towards that CT area.
How come the flashes from Azure over the top as the CT stream into the bomb site?
That's up to Kaze here with the Glock to try to deny as much as possible, but Jacob holding W straight at him, getting his head out of the server there, but the bomb is planted for Connector. And Freeman is going to be last alive in the 1v4. He is going to be shut down. Jacob with the 3K all over the place there on the retake. Up in Pal, back to front triple, just connecting as much as necessary, and that is going to be 9 in a row now for Renegades. Should be able to make it a 10th, but we'll see if they can beat the Pistols, and obviously, ViCi. They have gone for the Hero AK. So, similar strat to what we saw Renegades run earlier.
Well, it's different this time. I think it's only going to be the singular on Zoking.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a different approach. It's more of a one guy will have a scuffed buy rather than everyone will have a scuffed buy.
Into the next, yeah.
Yeah. Which is fine sometimes. I mean, sometimes you don't even care if one guy's just got a pistol. You can set him up in a position where it shouldn't really matter too much. Maybe might even be a favourable scenario to have him with the pistol if you're going to send him like into connector quickly or something like that. Or if he's setting people up with utility and then he's able to pick up an AK later on.
All the way up short here, and he is going to be shut down, so that AK should be retrievable for the T's, but they're not going to bother so far. Jacob with the spray down, Freeman and Advent on the end of that one. As a spotting Kaze in the smoke there. Grat getting, I was about to say over-aggressive, but the Deagle bullets did not connect. And Grat will come out on top with the Famis, and Renegades crack the double digits first, 10-7, 3 in the lead over ViCi.
I feel like it's a bit of a sort of same story as last map. It's sort of a case of ViCi run into Jacob and Azza, and it either goes well or it doesn't. Usually doesn't. Yeah. But on the other side, Zoking and Orman doing pretty decently for themselves. Advent had a couple of good rounds on CT, and he started pretty well on that CT side, but since then, haven't really seen a whole lot of him towards the end of that CT half, and I have to see him power up a little bit more on the T side. ViCi grabbing attack timeout to head into this gun rounds. It's an important one. They can't let Renegades economy start to run away in this game. Already 2 to 3k across this Renegades roster, so money in the bank already retained. They're keeping some of these lackluster weapons in this round, but they have got the util across the board. Yeah, and the bonus round, let's see how it goes. There is 2 Famis and an MP9 in the hands of Renegades, but ViCi, they all have that head armor. So these guns may be a little less than Renegades are expecting. Like Grat making that short jump. Just playing counter flash there. Waiting for the aggression at mid, but ViCi just taking it slow, just holding their nerve at the back of apartments. So here it is, Mac. I mean, they threw the mid smokes and they tried to make it look like they were going for a stand, like a default sort of round, but now they are going for this explosive play towards the B side. Pressure on Liaz. That's a huge nade. Molotov dropped as well. Oh, and that's going to be a couple of frags. Smoke extinguishing it though. The man's out on site, so Kaze and Orman opening up B site here, and now ViCi with the man advantage. The bomb is yet to go down. I think it's been planted. Look at this on short. Grat is so close already. Trying to play through the edges of the smokes, looking for as much information as possible as Jacob comes in on the flank. But Grat goes down there at Get Right. And ViCi, I guess they're in good post plants, you know, all quite close together looking for the trades. And here will be the save. JKS with the Famis and Jacob on the old M4 there. Difference maker for ViCi really was what we were talking about before. I mean, the timing of when they hit those entries was so clean. 3 of them are still on the bomb site though, and they're really struggling to get out of there. Jacob's going to clothesline one of them before he even makes it close to out of the bomb site. And he should be able to save the AK there too. If he goes for it, so, no? Yeah, he's grabbed it. And that's the person you don't want to be giving it to, because Jacob's first bullet aim with that AK is some scary stuff. That's why M4s don't one bullet kill Mac, because that would be overpowered. Even though they cost an angle, more, you can just tap one tap someone, you know, in a gunfight that you've already set up before it happens. Not that that's probably what Jacob's going to be doing with the AK. He's probably going to be walking at them on the CT side, and it's going to find some angle where the T's set something up, and then he's just going to go and, you know, disrupt them, stop them, crush their dreams.
We saw him do it on Inferno, so why can't he do it on Mirage, you know?
Well, what position's he playing in? He's towards that stairs area. Potential for, oh my god, he's in the sandwich.
Here's the aggression we're talking about. Very aggressive angle, will be mollied out, but there's that first bullet accuracy. Freeman gets knocked out of the server, but Zoking opening up this A site. Still here, and there is a man coming in late from underpass. That will be Ormond. Zoking, underarms a flash towards CT. As I'm making a lot of noise though, is Zoking going to be expecting this? He's spotted and taken down through the edge of triple. Now that bomb will be rotating all the way back to the B site. Liaz, you know, anchoring like he should be, still here. Hasn't heard a lot, but the bomb has not been spotted. And now we might actually see a gamble. Azza deep in the CT area. Just waiting to find any information. But Ormond looking to try to crack open the B site. Liaz made his way up into ladder. But the timing seems to be going in the favour of ViCi for the moment. Liaz having a rough start to the game. Not many frags on the board, which is not what we're used to for this man. I think he's still getting used to this apartments area, playing the short site for the Renegades.
Given up that whole apartments area, but it's going to give him an opportunity to find some info on his positioning of the teams. He has found both of them, so he needs to wait for his teammate to head over to short. He will do that.
Making the short jump
to be able to stop, get these ViCi players out of position though. It's going to make this round incredibly hard to win for Renegades.
We are going to see Azza trying to get the trades here. He actually takes first contact onto Advent now. Ormond, his leg's been spotted. Liaz going for the pre-fire, trying to wrap around. Both playing together. Ormond doing a great job to isolate the angles, but he can't come out as Liaz the trade, ready for the repeak. And Renegades finds that legs 11th round. So 3 in the lead over ViCi, retaining that lead, and ViCi now, I'd say they've been reset, but that's just that the money's still all right. It's okay. It's not enough for a bite, but we might see a pistol armor.
I mean, potential for them to be able to buy into this one because the one alive on Liaz is pretty tempting stuff to be able to just crush that CT economy, get yourself up on an even par with Renegades, force them on the save. This entry power for ViCi on this T side though, and the pacing of which they're hitting these bomb sites, you know, it starts off as a slow crawl, they throw some utilities on one part of the map, try to keep Renegades guessing of whether they're going for a bit more of a default round, and then all of a sudden, it's just a quick explosion out onto one of the bomb sites, and they hit those entries so cleanly both times so far in these gun rounds.
Yeah,
That's the real difference,
so sharp.
But the question is, Mac, like, they're still down 8-1. How many times can they really make that work for them? How many? It's very difficult to consistently hit those entries for the entire T half.
Well, that is the question.
They're getting some great breaks early on, but it's not something that they can consistently rely on for the rest of the half. They're going to need a little bit more to be able to put Renegades away in this map.
I guess it depends on who is going to adapt first. You know, who is controlling the tempo of the gameplay. And at the moment, it seems to be Renegades. You know, 3-man stack here on the ace site. ViCi balling like we did mention. As it threw the Molotov, him and JKS teaming up here to find a 2K each. And that's a hold. Azza actually with the 3K there, and that was over before it started. You know, only, I think Jacob and Azza both fell there. So 2 rifles out of the hands, not a great amount of economical damage, but what a marvellous hold by the Renegades there on A.
Well, that was a difference maker, wasn't it? ViCi, they're able to trade out a little bit more efficiently in some of the other scenarios, and in that B-bomb site previously, I mean, when they did trade out, the rotator wasn't very close, to be honest. Freeman's just, I mean, he's going on an adventure.
He tried to go on an adventure. He got denied. You know, his ticket wasn't valid. Grat will flash underpass there.
But I mean, the difference really was how close those rotators were to be able to come into that A-bomb site, and JKS, the rotators create so much pressure for him that he's able to double up from under Balk as a doubles up coming in on the rotate. And that's the difference there. I mean, ViCi, before the entries were clean, and there's no one really in position to be able to trade out.
Here we are, yet another eco going the way of Renegades. Liaz finding 2, Azza finding the final frag from deep short. You know, good rotations, but now 5 in the lead. Renegades starting to run away with it.
they're starting to adapt to how ViCi's playing. They're really recognizing that ViCi, they're doing more or less the same thing again and again. They're popping out those bomb sites with the flashes, trying to get the entries in, and Renegades, they're adapting to it pretty quickly. You know, 1 or 2 rounds where the entries go the way of ViCi, things look a little bit closer, but that's not a consistent sort of approach across the whole T side. You need a little bit more depth than that. You need to be able to run your defaults, have your protocols in place, and run your map control, especially when you're behind. You can't rely on that kind of playstyle to consistently be able to string rounds together. Renegades will just drop you till they'll counter flash. They have sharp enough players to be able to double up even if you're running into a bomb site quickly. So let's see if ViCi have a little bit more depth, or whether they're just going to live by the sword, die by the sword, continue trying to go for this approach.
Look, it's their last chance, right? If they lose this, they're done. You know, find the little depths of your strat book. Bring as much to the table as you possibly can. It's do or die. That's it.
It's a bit more mid-control from there, but contesting Jacob in this connector, I don't know how this one's going to go, Mac. Never mind, so he just spammed it straight through the smoke, so that's an early advantage for ViCi. Will they be able to convert? I like the fact that they're backing out of mid here. They don't need mid-control anymore. They've obtained their pick. They're going to go straight back towards A. This is beautiful stuff from ViCi. Just play it sensibly. Resolve the round in the best way possible. They've even left Orman over there towards B apartments. He can start to throw some utility, try to draw a rotate out of Renegades in this earlier part of the round, while the rest of them walk out towards JKS position. He spotted out one though.
So playing close, that will allow the rotation to come back in. Grady's got the AWP in hand, but JKS, he's found 2 headshots, and now it's back into Renegades' favour. He's going to try to get aggressive yet again, but with 50 seconds remaining, Orman goes down towards the B site. Liaz still anchoring, holding strong, and finding yet another frag. But the bomb, it's rotating into Palace. No, it's not actually. It's rotating on the ledge there. Freeman taking Grat down and finding another onto JKS. So in the 1v4, it is now a 1v2, and the bomb has been retrieved. The big rotation is coming out from Azar all the way through T-spawn, flanking, but taking his time. Liaz on the angle, gets the information, and that's all the Renegades need. Flashing over as Freeman gets this bomb down successfully. Liaz decides to reposition over towards Connector. But is Freeman going to be aware of the flank? He's clearing jungle. Still a little worried. Doesn't have to worry too much about a main. He has the cover, but there's only a few positions he could have gotten to as Liaz was watching the cross. And here comes the double peek. That so ready for Freeman to be in the corner there, as Liaz finds a second for the round and a 14th round for the Renegades. So, you know, slow start for Liaz, but he has been locking it down here in the second half.
Look, that's a round where the theory from ViCi is pretty solid, but the execution is completely off, unfortunately. They're not able to pace their mid to late round in that scenario. You know, they try to go and take control of that A ramp. Too staggered in terms of where their players are positioned. JKS shouldn't be able to get that many opportunities to get kills. You know, he had 4 or 5 re-peaks there, just popping his head up and down above that crate, and he's able to convert on 2 of the terrorists. The other 2 players aren't even close to being able to trade.
Yeah, it is rough. You know, if you're getting your head ripped off, there's not a lot you can do. They obviously had a bit of utility there, but with Grat making sure that no one could cross towards Palace there, but here we are. Very aggressive in apartments. He's found himself a second. Can't quite get the third. Trade from Zoking. Azar will find one, but it is a one and done, and now it's a 3v2 as the bomb is still in apartments. Freeman trying to find another, which he will onto Liaz in market there. Just untraded. JKS not quite there, not quite ready, but the flank is coming in. Jacob. Great positioning, but Freeman gets the leg onto JKS, and he is going to go down through the edge of the box there, but Jacob knows where Freeman is. He needs to find the second man, but he's not going to show any trigger discipline. He's coming straight out onto site. I think he might have heard Advent running off into market, but Advent does not have to peek. The bomb not actually planted for him. So Jacob will clear the site, gives up his position. Is he going to stick it? No, he taps it. But out the door, Advent knows that he's not on the bomb, and that will be another round for ViCi. Renegades can't quite find the 15th, but Jacob will try to deny the saved weapon. Not going to happen. All the way into CT, so there you go. Lots of damage done though, and ViCi, look at that, the economy so damn low. This is going to be a rougher round than the previous and Renegades will happily buy into the 24th round.
That's great AWPing there from Freeman. Don't see him with it too often, but those are some very sharp shots there. Hit in the pretty high pressure scenario. He has to hit those or Renegades on match point there, so clutch as you can get. Now ViCi going to be able to buy up into this one. Renegades still with enough money to be able to make it work. Jacob saving that AWP in the last to be able to throw it over the Grat in this one. Yeah, JKS lacking for the util a little bit.
Yeah, I can see the early three-man setup towards A though. You know, Azza, he was there, but he's ready to crossfire at mid. Grat giving it up, as there was a smoke in apartments. Maybe something heard, but a util going to be expent from ViCi early on.
Yeah, ViCi very spread out all over the map, holding for some pushes, but I was about to say, I mean, Azza's already picked one up. They're very split up, and it doesn't really seem like they know what they're kind of going for at this point in the round. Like, they're all kind of spread out in different positions, and no one's actively trying to go for any kind of map control. They're holding for pushes, and they're not even able to punish Azza's aggression, pushing in and killing that underpass player there. So, by all rights, not really a successful approach there from ViCi.
Yeah, just, I guess, untradeable positions. There was an apps player that tried to go for the trade there at underpass eventually, but too little, too late, and no extra damage done to Azza. So Renegades with the man advantage as there's 30 seconds remaining on the clock, and ViCi looking to group up and hit this B site. The rotations are coming out thick and fast, but Grat is here with the AWP, finding yet another. Liaz holding as well. Headshot on Kaze. But Grat looking for the wallbang, can't connect. Azza will do the honours as Renegades find themselves a 15th round. And what a hold from Grat yet again. Grat and Liaz, the dream team over on B. You know, Renegades, they have actually been changing up their positioning throughout the half. You know, there's people that are on the sites, you know, always. But here's that hold. Grat with a first and a second. He's just so good at peeking with an AWP. You don't see it too often nowadays.
Single scope into just the pre-aim, and he perfectly counter strafes. He perfectly has his crosshair in the right position to be able to fire off a very fast shot, and it's always well placed, isn't it? Now, ViCi's economy completely cooked. Freeman, the only one who's able to afford himself an AK, throwing some utility towards middle, but Grat, he sees everything. He knows no one's out middle. The rest of ViCi just going to try and deathball their way out A. They're going to have to go into JKS and Jacob, and they've been so hard to break on this A bomb site.
And look at this, the Molotov splitting up the forces, but JKS fully blinded. He will go down, and that may allow the bomb to be planted, but Grat is so aggressive here, ready for the jump. And he is not going to miss a shot like that. It's Arthur Freeman, the man with the rifle in the 1v3, but Grat's on the edge of the smoke. Flash comes out, misses the flick, but Liaz is there to clean up the scraps, and 16-9. Renegades take it with a 7-round lead. 2 maps to nothing here. Renegades taking on ViCi. But that was much faster than I expected.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they were always in the lead in that last map. They always had the momentum. Renegades were always looking like they were in control of that game. And
except for the first 7 rounds.
Well, yeah, the first 7 rounds, that was one thing. But I feel like that was ViCi sort of coming into it with, you know, the determination that you have after you just lose a map. You don't want to be going out of Pro League, you know, in 3 quick maps. He had Astralis first up. Fair go, you know, that's a hard team to beat. But Renegades, probably a middle of the table team, another team that's not going to be easy for ViCi to best, but definitely a team that they're going to be able to have a puncher's chance at beating. Unfortunately, they weren't able to make it work though. Even though that was an impressive start, the first 7 rounds, they were able to showcase some of their talent and skill. Renegades quickly adapted and were able to come straight back into it and start to, you know, adapt to that brawling style that ViCi was throwing at them. And that was the same thing in the T side of you know, ViCi's as well. You know, they caught Renegades off guard with some explosive entries, some quick sort of deathballing style, but the same thing, Renegades adapted, and as soon as they did, you know, ViCi weren't really able to do very much.
Well, the thing is, as you saw there right at the end, Grat, essentially every time he was on short, on the B side at least, never smoked off. No execute on the B side, just a couple of flashes.
They didn't have the money at that point in the half, unfortunately.
Yeah, but they could have done it earlier. They could have done it to deny vision on many other rounds as well. It's just, we didn't really see it, you know. They were just flashing and going.
Yeah, they were really going pretty hard when they were throwing the smokes. They were throwing it towards, you know, catwalk and mid window, and then going towards going towards either bomb site. And we saw a lot of the time, like Grat was doing the cat jump or somebody was peeking out of connector aggressively, getting all the information. You know, they might have thrown the smoke stare and a couple of flashes out middle, but that never deterred Renegades from getting that information and really confirming that nobody was in middle. If they, you know, confirmed that there was nobody in middle, they would go for that mid-round peek into underpass or go aggressive in one part of the map and go and get that information, go and get that pick in the mid-round. So it really felt like Renegades ever caught guessing, and the only times they were ever caught off guard was when ViCi went for those very fast bomb site hits in the earlier parts of the half.
Well, that was it. You did call it at halftime that you didn't think that ViCi was going to take the mid control.
They didn't have enough depth yet. That's what they saw.
They just didn't.
Yep.
They just never did, and that's the problem. You know, they need to pretty much rework how they play Mirage against different teams. Obviously, from their region, what they do may work.
Yep,
but when you go international and you play higher caliber teams than what you're used to playing, this thing becomes a problem.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Unfortunately, ViCi just didn't have the depth that we needed to see for them up against the Renegades. That will be the end of their run in Pro League, I believe. Tough showing from them. They had Astralis, then they had to go up against Renegades, and that's all we'll get to see from them. An underdog that never really had a chance to get things going with two difficult opponents. After the break, though, we're going to be looking at a game between Ince and G2. Should be a pretty interesting one. Let's get into it right after this.